Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and for today's vlog I want to have an honest conversation with you. There's two things that is predominantly on my mind. First and foremost, I have been in for the past couple of weeks, let's say from like the end of May to the early parts of June and even into now, I have been in what we will call an slump. I don't know if it's an artist slump or just a natural slump, but I have been in a slump. And I don't know what's the reason for it. My researcher's brain is trying to find a cause for my slump. Maybe it's because I went back to a full schedule at work. So I'm going back to working long hours and it's a heavy shift. And basically I probably am just exhausted. And that's the reason for my slump. But I'm not sure why. I almost feel guilty about it. And I know I would love to talk to you on a more personal level about it, but my artist slump just makes me feel so exhausted, and not so much depressed, more than tired. And that's the reason too why I related to work, because when I come home I'm done for the day. I'm literally done. And I would take the hour commute to work and I will draw something on the bus, but for the past couple of weeks I haven't been doing that. As you can see, my stuff is in front of me. My art bag is in front of me. So I do put in some work. One of the things that I've been doing, not to get me out of the slump, but more to use this time as a way of discovery and practice, and to use this time as a learning experience, I kind of made this little sketchbook here. And it's not a sketchbook to say, oh, I'm gonna draw in it. It's more like exactly what it says. It's a color mixing and palette kind of sketchbook. And basically what I did is I took my coloring pencil. This is the marker Renoir coloring pencil. I took all the yellow colors and I just made swatches of them and tried to gradient them. So I'll take maybe 3 of the yellow colors, like here. This is number 21, 25, and 19, and see how I could produce flawless gradients. And I did this with yellows. I also put on the back of it what the numbers mean. I did it with reds to see how I could gradient those. Blues, browns, grays. I tried to do some color mixing. Here I was trying to bring to neutral. So basically this is what I have been using these past couple of weeks to do, to try to see how I could mix these colors up and to work with these colored pencils. Here I did it with the polychromos pencils. Did some color mixing with them and try to bring to neutrals and to try to create neutrals with these. I have next to me the polychromes because I'm not quite finished yet, as you can see. This is a 12 set. I got it in a Jazzy Jazz art box. So this is what I've been using. And I think I'll do this with several color pencils. The little scratches here is from this. I've been using this blender marker from Touch 5, sorry. Touch 5 blender marker, and that's what I've been doing to assist me with color blending with coloring pencils. And I found out it actually works good. You just have to clean the tip of the marker off, hence the little scratches here. And it does help me when coming to coloring a piece, because like I said, I'm trying to use this time when I feel exhausted, like I'm in a slump, to do new techniques, to try new techniques, to try to learn something about a certain medium. And the medium I choose to use this time is colored pencils. And that's what I've been doing. I did make a couple sketchbook. This is one of them. I think there's one here that I made too. This is another one that I made. Again, using this time, and this is black paper in this sketchbook, so see, just trying to use this time to discover new stuff. Just finished coloring this piece using the techniques I've learned using this book. I colored this piece with it, and as you can see, I enjoy the way it came out. Sorry, I had to drink some water. I have my bottle here. It's super hot today, guys. I actually feel like I'm overheating. As soon as I take a shower, I gotta go back into the shower again and take another cold shower because I'm sweating. I just feel like I'm overheating today. But what I was saying about this piece is the techniques I've learned is not only color mixing, it's actually how to hold a pencil. Like for instance, let me go with a scarlet red. I learned because generally before I did this exercise, I used to hold my pencils like this, which is not bad. It's not a bad way of holding the pencil. Let me turn on the light here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It's not a bad way of holding the pencil, but because I've been doing this exercise, I learned to hold the pencil like this. And I try as much as possible to use the lightest touch, and it's kind of like barely putting down color. And this is what I've been doing. It's actually so therapeutic, just coloring these little boxes, holding the pencil as far as the end as I'm comfortable am, and just trying to blend colors together. And this is just so relaxing. I learned that technique, and it'll take me a while before I'm finished with this because I don't really burnish the pencil into the paper anymore. I used to do that, and honestly doing this exercise taught me not to do that. So I'll be going over this several times in several directions, just holding the pencil as far as I'm comfortable with, and just going over it with maybe 2 different colors just to see what colors is going to be produced. And I learned that doing this exercise. And I'm just hoping that that's a little tip that I could give you, that when you find yourself in this state of consciousness that I've found myself, that instead of just taking a break from art, I mean, you can take a break. I think I took a break. I think I started this project on the 3rd day of my art feeling, of my art slum, or my being exhausted. I did this on my 3rd day. But this really helps me a lot because now I'm actually learning about this medium, this color pencil. And being that now I'm in this very relaxed mood, talking to you, doing my color blending and swatching, I like to talk about the second issue that has been bothering me. And that's the whole protest that's going on in the United States of America. And yes, guys, I don't see it more of a racial issue than it's an equality issue, because inequality exists in every society, in every corner of the world. And that's how a lot of us in the global nation relates to that protest. I mean, yes, there's racism in my country. I will not deny that there is racism here. But more than that, there is inequality. And the only reason I say more than that is because within my environment, I cannot speak for environments that is outside my own that I don't know of. But within my community, within my environment, there is a lot of interracial or ethnicity mixing. You know, there's a lot of marriages between people of different ethnicity. So the racial divide is not as prominent within my environment than it is within other people's environment within the country of Belize. But what exists is inequality. And that's how I relate to it. Because it doesn't matter which part of the world you're from, there's always some form of inequality. There's always one group of people, whether that group identify as one ethnicity or one social class, there's always a group of people that think that they are so much better or so more entitled than another group of people. And it's sad to know that in the year 2020, when we are supposed to be so far ahead as a global nation, so inclusive as a global nation, that we are so still exclusive. And that's how I basically look at it, as we're supposed to be this generation of people that are very understanding. We're supposed to be a generation of people that are aware. And we're supposed to be a generation of people that is exposed. And it's like, after one incident, and I'm not saying only the apparent murder of this Afro-descended person, but after one incident, that rawness of inequality just exposed itself to everybody. It's like it never goes away. No matter how far you think you are as a global nation, inequality will always keep us in trust that, or not in trust, I think in trust is the wrong word, will always keep us attached. I'm thinking of like a leash around a neck, and I'm trying to find a word to describe that feeling, that it's like, you know, it's like you want to go to the moon, but there's just something holding you back from reaching there. And that's what I'm talking about, that inequalityness, that you might want to soar as high as the moon. And in this global nation, you think, oh, I can do that. As an Afro-descended woman, I can go as far as the moon because this is 2020 and there's no limits on my aspirations. And when you try to do that aspiration of going to as far as the moon, you realize that there's certain barriers that are put in place to keep you from becoming an astronaut. And those barriers are put there not accidentally, but they're purposefully put there to show superiority, to show that although you believe that your aspirations, that, you know, you have the right for those aspirations, there's these barriers that are there telling you that no, you cannot do that because you're unequal. Or even so, here you are, a woman. You don't even have to be an Afro-descended woman. You can be an Anglo-Saxon woman. And you're saying, okay, I want to be the Prime Minister of Belize. And you're of Anglo-Saxon descent. Basically, you're Caucasian. And you want to be the Prime Minister of Belize, and you're a woman. And again, those barriers are put there to say, well, you might be of Anglo-Saxon descent, but as a woman, there's still inequality, because leadership, global leadership, is more of a male-dominated field, and people won't see you equal as a woman. And that's how I look at it as. It's this inequality that exists, that holds us back. no matter how far we want to go as a global nation, it's kind of like a leash around our necks. And we really have to make a conscious effort to break through that ceiling, because we can have amazing Afro-descended female astronauts. Statistics has proven that the countries who have women in a seat of leadership, those are the countries that did amazing during this corona pandemic. And I'm talking about Germany. I'm talking about, I believe, I think it is Austria or New Zealand, or one of those countries. They has done amazingly through this pandemic. So it is just this ceiling that we can't seem to shake as a global nation. Okay, I don't want to blabber too much on that. I honestly don't want my channel to be so serious. I just want you guys to know out there that I am not removed from the situation that is going on in other countries, because I can identify with inequality. And I just want to add my little 2 cents to it, And for all those people out there who are protesting against inequality, I hear your message. Because we do need Afro-descended female astronauts, and we do need more female in seats of power. And for my first point that I made about trying to get over the artist slump, try to do little things like I'm doing right now to keep you engaged, to keep you thinking, and to keep you practicing. I mean, take a couple of days, maybe even a week, to rest up, because sometimes you can get exhausted drawing every day. But after that, find new ways to push yourself. And if pushing yourself is not something you want to do, find something that you can learn, or something you can rediscover. And trust me, use this time to teach yourself in 2 ways. Use this time to teach yourself more art, and use this time to teach yourself about something different. And with that, I end this session, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me, and for all my friends out there, stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.